I turn around like this. And like I make eye contact with the guy as he's walking by. So he just looks at me like, and then he just keeps walking. Hey everyone, it's Cheetah, and today I want to talk about a very interesting topic. I just wanted to share my experience with dating in South Korea and why I no longer do it. Because when I tell you that it is just the worst. So to begin with, let's talk about the in-person interactions that I've had with Korean men. Hold on. Also, let me put in a disclaimer here. I did not come to Korea looking for a Korean man or having the idea that I would partner up with the South Korean person or anything like that. It was kind of, for me, it was like, if it happens, it happens. And for me, it kind of just hasn't. Whenever I used to go to the club, because we can't go to the clubs very much anymore because of COVID. But when I used to go to the club way back when, it seems like now, I used to encounter very specific type of Korean men that would approach me. They would come up to me and be like, yeah, I'm really into black women. And I'm just like, but really, who asked? Like, I didn't even ask you that. It's kind of off-putting for you to come to me and say that you're into me because I'm black, or not because I'm black, but it's okay that you're a black person because I still like you anyway, That's a little bit weird. That's like me going up to a Korean person like, yeah, I'm really into Korean men. If you're down, I'm down. That's weird. We don't do that here. It happened to me a few times. It's not like an abundant thing, I'm debating on whether or not I should tell these stories, but I've had a few very touchy-feely Korean men in the clubs, and I've seen stories of other foreign women talking about how Korean men would just come up and just randomly touch them, grope them, pull their instruments out in front of them. It's fair to say that I have experienced a few of these things as well, but maybe not to the wildest extent. So I was in the club with a few of my friends. I forget which club we were at, but I'm pretty sure it was a club in Hongdae. And we had come from, I believe it was Seoul Comic Con. We had come from Seoul Comic Con and we were like, okay, let's go party after the con, right? So we found this club and we entered into it, and the club was packed. There's so many people in this club. Me and my friends, we were trying to swerve through this crowd of people because there were so many people in there. I'm trying to follow my friend, right? It was my guy friend. He had came over to Korea to visit me and to go to the Comic Con, like I said before. I was walking through the crowd, right? And as I'm walking, this guy, this big muscular Korean guy, just comes up behind me and grinds his his area up against my butt. He just digs he just digs it into me, and then he just keeps walking, and I turn around like what the fuck? I turn around like this, and I make eye contact with the guy as he's walking by. So he just looks at me like, and then he just keeps walking. What the fuck? I didn't even know what to do. I was so shocked that had actually happened to me, and I was traumatized, you guys. I was traumatized. That was probably one of the worst things that happened to me in a Korean club. I've had instances of Korean men touching me. One time I had this open-backed shirt, and I have a tattoo on my back. So this random Korean man just came up to me and he just caressed my back, with his hand. And I just kind of I felt it. I was just I just ignored him, and he just eventually just, he left. I guess he wasn't getting the attention that he wanted. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you though. I would hope that something like that does not happen to you if you ever go to clubs here in South Korea. But just handle it like a champ, or you can go and beat his ass. I should have, and every day I think about that. Let's go into the ghosting. These people in South Korea I swear they have a direct bloodline with Casper the Ghost. The way these people know how to ghost you, they are pros. I've never seen anything like it. The amount of guys that I've gone on dates with and then like they just disappear for months, and then come back in my inbox like, hey Sheeta girl, how you doing? Who are you? Oh, you're that dude that like stopped messaging me like 6 months ago. What do you want? I don't know what it is. And if you ask like literally any foreigner here, there's so many stories about that, of like just men just ghosting them out of nowhere. They must know Casper directly, because the way that these people disappear. Young Danny Phantom, he was just 14. They be like out here like Casper, out here like Danny Phantom, out here like freaking Ghostbusters. So don't get in your feelings. It's just something that happens here. I don't know what is the like underlying reasons for why they end up ghosting you. It could be a multitude of reasons. Maybe it's like the fact that you're a foreigner and they don't expect you to stay here very long anyway. It could be even family things. Not even have anything to do with what I just mentioned. Maybe they just don't even like you. Maybe they didn't like me and that's why they ghosted. Now I'm gonna get into a little bit of darker things that have happened to me, because I think it is definitely something that, especially young women, if you're coming to South Korea, please be careful. I have been in very compromised positions and I should not have been in those positions. I should have either gone home or had some other people around me, and I probably wouldn't have been in the position that I've been in. I'll tell you guys a few stories, and this is not to scare you, it's just to help you guys understand that this is something that does happen to people, and it has happened to me. South Korea is a very safe place, yes, but as a woman, you still need to be very careful when you're walking the streets by yourself. There's some crazy people out here. There's crazy people everywhere. I'll tell you this story about this situation that happened with me, and I want to put a disclaimer in here that I know that some of the things that I did was I wasn't really thinking as smartly as I could have in this situation, but when I was in this situation, I didn't really, think about it as much as after the fact, when I really sat down and was like, Sheeta, that wasn't really a good idea. One time I was walking around in Hongdae and I had just come out from the big H&M. I was doing some shopping that day and I was doing it by myself because I like to walk around and do things alone a lot. I don't really have that many friends out here in Seoul anyway, so I tend to do a lot of things by myself. And I think it was around maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, right? And what you're gonna find is that there's gonna be a lot of people around Hongdae that are just walking around looking for like people to talk to. Either they're gonna be cult people, and if you guys want me to make a video about the cults in South Korea, because I've had encounters with those guys too, I can make a video about that. But they're either gonna be like cults trying to recruit people and scam people, or they're gonna be like guys. In this situation, it was the latter. There was a random Korean man that happened to be crossing my path as I was trying to actually catch a train and go back home. I was walking and this random Korean guy comes up to me and he starts talking and he's asking me, oh, what are you doing? I was just like, oh, well, I just came from shopping. That's where I made the first mistake. He started talking to me, but I did not have to respond to him. Like, I could have just very much kept walking, ignored him, and gone about my business. Please learn from my mistake. Well, I'm trying to find something to do myself. I wanted to find some people to hang out with, and I'm here by myself, and I was wondering if you wanted to go and grab some dinner. Mistake number 2. I should not have gone to go to dinner with a complete stranger. I did. I went to dinner with the guy because I thought, okay, well, couldn't hurt. I don't have anything else to do. I was just gonna go home anyway and probably watch some YouTube or some Netflix. So why not just grab dinner with the guy and then go home? I ended up staying in Harmon. I ended up going with the guy. We had a casual conversation. He asked me like what I did here in South Korea and like about my life and stuff, and he told me a little bit about his life. Yeah, it was just a general casual conversation. After the meal, I was just like, okay, so looking about that time to be hitting the old dusty trail. And he was like, oh, well, okay, I'll escort you to your house. And already I'm just like, oh no. I was just telling him like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, I really know, I know how to get home. And he's like, no, I'll just take you to your train stop and then I'll go where I need to go. I was like, okay, well, where are you heading? And he was like, oh, well, I'm heading in the direction that you're going in anyway. So I'll just take you to where your stop is and then I'll continue on to where I need to go. Okay, cool. Maybe he's trying to be a gentleman. Like, he's just trying to help me out. He wasn't trying to help me out. We got on the train, right? The guy starts to like become really touchy-feely with me. I don't ever think that I showed this guy any kind of initiative that I was trying to be intimate with him in any way. He started trying to like kiss on my neck and stuff like that, and I was like moving away like, bro, what are you doing? I don't even know you. I don't know what we were talking about. He started getting like very sexual, so I'm getting very, very uncomfortable because this is not how I wanted this day to go. I just wanted to go home. I had been ready to go home for like hours now, and I was like really kicking myself mentally because I really let this man talk me into going to dinner with him, and now he's being a creep. We get to my train stop. I get off and I'm trying to walk home and he follows me. I was getting very agitated at this point. I was just like, oh God, I really don't want this man to know where I live. I need to get rid of him. I started walking towards my house and he kept following me, and it got to a point where I stopped walking and he was trying to convince me to let him stay at my house. He was like, well, I'm really tired. Like, I would really like it if you would let me stay at your house and I'll just go home in the morning. I'm just like, what do you want to come to my house for? He's like, oh, you know, I'm just really tired. Like, I just want to stay at your house. You know, we could play some video games and then I'll just go leave in the morning. And I'm just like, no, dude, no. You're not coming into my house. You're a stranger. I don't know you. I don't want to do this. I had to like stand there and try to convince this guy for like a good 20-30 minutes to leave me the freak alone. I never gave him any kind of indication that I wanted any level of intimacy with this guy at all, but he kept pressing for that. Eventually, I just kind of was like, okay, dude, look, I don't want to do anything with you. He was like, oh, well, I thought you would let me come in, blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to convince me and like kind of guilt trip me. Like, okay, dude, like I want to go home, but not with you. Okay, you cannot come with me. Eventually, I just kind of walked off, and luckily he did not follow me, which when I turned the corner, I was just like running.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
Running to my house, and I kept looking back to make sure he wasn't following me, and luckily he wasn't. He like eventually just gave up. Yeah, that was probably one of the scariest moments of my life. I was extremely terrified after that point. Yeah, like now I'm very careful about when I go to home day or like being out by myself after a certain time, because it can be a little bit dangerous. I was lucky and I got out of that situation without any harm, but please be very careful. So let's get into the topic of Tinder. Tinder in Korea, I don't even, you know what, I'll insert a video.
Korean Tinder is elite.
Okay, I really hope I'm not offending anyone with this TikTok. I just want to share my experience as someone who has lived in Korea for a semester, and I've used Tinder there a lot. So yes, some of the guys might look better, I guess. I don't know, but just remember that they're still guys, and guys will stay guys no matter where you go. Doesn't matter how they look like. Don't over romanticize them because of what you've seen on media, because the moment you will do, they will start to notice and they will take advantage of you, and we don't want that, okay? Remember, guys will stay guys. It doesn't matter how they look, okay? Okay.
All you're seeing is FWB, ONS. They don't even have pictures on their profile, right? It'll be some like random ass pictures or some graphs or something, or like their cat or their dog. Sometimes it's like this just man with his chest bare and his face is covered, probably because he doesn't want his like girlfriend or like his friends or his company to see him on Tinder. And then they use a whole bunch of fake names. A mess. Like, what are y'all doing over here? And people are like, oh my god, Tinder in Korea is so much better than Tinder in the US. Like the boys over here are so hot. All 10 of them? You mean the 10 Korean boys that actually look good? Or aren't trying to say ONS and FWB? I will show you guys some screenshots and I'll put them here and here. Like, I will show you the evidence and you guys come to your own conclusions. I have deleted the app and I've just given up. Okay, I've given up. But also there's another Tinder story that I think is pretty funny, so I'm gonna go ahead and mention it. One time I met with this Tinder match. He came to my house one time, not directly to my house because I didn't give him my exact location. I just gave him a location of some place that was close to my house, not my exact house, because that is dangerous. So he came there, and when we were chatting on Tinder, he was like, oh, you know, I'll take you out to some good coffee and we can chat and get to know each other. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Like, we can go to a coffee shop. The coffee shops in Korea are so nice. So on the app too, sometimes some of these dudes be catfishing. I've never gotten catfished in America as many times as I've gotten catfished in South Korea. I swear on my life, bro. This guy on the app, like, he looked really cute, like he took really nice photos, and like on the app I was just like, oh yeah, he's super cute, like I would like to like go and like have coffee with him. But then I saw him in person and I was just like, but sir, who are you? Your pictures and your real life appearance aren't matching up, so what the fuck is this? I was so upset. Not to like be shady or nothing, but man's teeth, his molars were going to the north, canines were going down south. If I would have known that you looked like that prior to, maybe I would have gotten accustomed to it. Maybe I wouldn't have been as like, it wouldn't have been so jarring, you know. But like, why you gotta lie, Craig?
You ain't got
Why you gotta lie? Oh, and it wasn't even just his teeth, you know, like it was just his facial structure. I was just like, bro, did you use fake pictures? Like, this is not you. I got to see him in person, and you know, his appearance wasn't as what he said on his Tinder. It was like two complete different people. But you know what? I was just like, okay, well, maybe he wasn't as confident as his appearance and he didn't want to show that on the app. I can excuse that, right? You know, because you can't really always blame someone on their appearance. Maybe they have a good heart. So I was like, okay, I'll still give him a chance, you know, at least have some coffee with him. He drives up and he's in his car, and I come into his car and I was like, okay, so where are we going? Right? I was so excited. So this guy says, well, you know, my English isn't really that good, so I really don't want to go into a coffee shop because I'm gonna be really embarrassed having to try and use my English with you, and it would be easier if you would just like talk in your house. And I'm just like, talk in my house? Okay. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we don't have to go to a coffee shop. Maybe we can just go to the convenience store, the 편의점. Like, there's one right there. And he was like, oh no, but like, the convenience store is like I don't really want to go like so uncomfortable. Like, we just go into your house though. Oh, see your game here. You don't want to have coffee. You want to talk. You're trying for something else. Cool. I was like, okay, you know what? No, thanks for coming, but see you, sir. Like, okay, no thank you. And I just left his car and just went back to my house because like this man was trying to play me. That doesn't go to say though that you can't find genuine connection here in South Korea, because it is possible, and I've seen it. I've had people in my real life that I've seen it happen to, as well as people online. So I know it is possible. It's just very difficult. Because honestly, guys, all that glitters isn't gold, okay? And these South Korean men are just as messed up as any man that you could find in your own country. It's not rainbows and glitters out here. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Like, just keep your wits about you, you know? Tinder is just like, if you're trying to date someone, just maybe don't use Tinder, man. Like, Tinder is like where the worst of the worst people come and cultivate. Like, the worst people come onto that app because they're either looking for one of two things. They're looking to hook up. On the rare occasion, they're looking actually for connection. But 9 times out of 10, they're just trying to hook up with you, you know? Just be very wary and mindful of that when you come here, or if you come here. Or maybe not. Maybe you're just watching this video because it's hilarious. Hopefully it's because of that, because I like to think that I'm pretty funny. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it entertaining, enlightening, meaningful, educational, and all the good things. Oh my gosh, my teeth. You guys, I think I'm gonna get my braces off next weekend. I already got the bottom ones off and I'm waiting to get the tops off. And I'm so excited about it. Like, I've had these braces on for like 3 years and I hate them. But they finally might be coming off this weekend. And yeah, maybe I'll make a video on braces in South Korea, because that was a 3-year period of my life that I did not enjoy. I could probably talk about that experience if you guys are interested. Let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.